7:01 p.m.
July 2nd.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. A moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. The first item on the agenda was a request to approve 2 private road variances for Sauter Road, and the public hearing was canceled due to the applicant withdrawing requests for the 2 private road variances. We don't need action on that.
Mm-mm.
Are there any public comment at this time? 3 minutes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Arloa Kaiser, live at 1421 Melvin Street, and I'm on my soapbox that I am against the YMCA coming to Ypsilanti Township. The township wants to give away what they have assessed property for the value of $4 million, and yet I hear the fire department that there's discussion about buying fire trucks and that kind of stuff, and kind of quote that that money comes from the budget. I believe that we need fire trucks, we need police officers, and hopefully that we could sell this $4 million piece of property and use that money for someone to pay property taxes for police and fire. Also, it is competing with, for example, Powerhouse Gym, which is a local thing. And I am concerned of who is actually going to pay for all the building and everything after we donate supposedly this property. And down the line, who's going to be able to afford it? Who's paying for the building itself? I know I have heard some possibilities, but to me, I don't think it's an asset for the township. I know a lot of people on the board do, and I am opposed to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kaiser. The next on consent agenda, we have the minutes of the June 18th work session, regular meeting, statements and checks.
So moved.
Motion Rose, support Doe. Discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I just had a quick update, and I want to make sure that, I have to find it, I'm so sorry. I believe it was in the working session, but I will find it. The question was in regards to, there it is. Okay, so under page 3, and it was the first reading of 2019.
Work session or?
This would be the work session, correct, thank you. The discussion that I had with, I believe it was Ms. Massa Millock, the last part, it says Trustee Williams said that it was probably more than what was needed in regards to residents getting their car repaired. What I believe I asked her, and please check the minute notes.
What paragraph are you on?
I am actually on paragraph 3.
Thank you.
Yes, in sentence 2. What I believe I asked her was it enough car repair businesses for the amount of residents within the area? I think I'm almost positive that's what I asked her. So if the minutes reflect that, if it could be reflected, I appreciate it.
Madam Chair.
We'll check on it.
I'd also just on page 7 and 8, like at the discussion about the, accepting the low quote for the fire engine,
Is it work session?
the regular meeting, board meeting, 7 and 8. None of my comments are in there at all about that discussion. And then when I was looking through it, in the bottom of page 7, Monica's Williams Ross. It's flipped around in the last paragraph. But just if you could go back and actually it's Williams Ross in that whole paragraph, I think.
Okay, can you
What?
start again, page 7?
Page 7. I don't see any of my comments
On
on that.
what item? On which one?
About
Fire
the fire
truck.
truck.
Okay.
And I made a lot of them. I don't think anyone forgot. And then on the last paragraph of page 7, I noticed that trustee Ross Williams' name is backwards, and then at the very end of that paragraph, it's backwards again.
Last paragraph, page 7.
It says trustee Williams Ross.
I don't even see her name on page.
It's in the very final.
On the board meeting minutes.
You're on page 7?
That's what she said.
In your packet.
Oh,
Madam Chair.
It says page 7, oh, I'm sorry, at the top, right?
Yeah, but maybe it's,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's a motion there.
Point of clarification.
It's on the fire truck lease? It's on page 40 of the packet. I'm not in the packet, but. Is it on item number 11?
Yes, no.
Number
12.
Item 12, thank you.
Correct.
You said last paragraph?
Williams Rock.
Looks like throughout that whole
Okay,
paragraph,
all right, thank you.
the name is wrong.
Good catch. It.
And then what happened to my comment?
Was it on that page?
Trustee Giro would like some of her.
No, I got that. That's the other, on the fire truck purchase.
Thank you.
No, wait a minute. You said page 7. That item wasn't,
So at the very top of the paper, it says Charter Township of Ypsilanti, minutes of June 18th, 2019, regular board meeting, page 7.
and then what item is it? Yours.
Mine is 12,
Item number 12, you did not have any comments.
none.
Comments, okay. All right, gotcha.
Any other corrections, input, request? So do those come back for the board?
Yeah, you want me to bring them back? Yeah, I better bring them back since the one you're saying we left out all your comments from the fire truck thing.
Okay,
I don't know, I'm not sure whether that was the work session or the board meeting, but, because we talked about the work session? Okay, thank you. All righty.
no, there were comments about the work session.
So we'll just not, I'll redo my motion and remove the minutes. Is that all right, Larry? And we'll bring those back.
Bring them back, okay. So they're tabled, or just bring them back?
Just didn't approve them, yeah.
Statements and checks? Are they in proper order for consideration?
Did we vote?
No, because the motion was for.
Oh. The whole thing. You're asking a question. I apologize.
Yeah, I was just asking if there were any questions on the statements and checks before we, so there's a motion of support to approve the statements and checks, not the minutes.
Gotcha.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Attorney report? Do you have any general legal update, Mr. Leonard?
Yes, I do. I'll take Larry's time. I can't help but at least comment that I think that as you sit up here in the last few years and as you continue to sit up here in years to come, that you're kind of getting a good kaleidoscope picture of what sometimes township government asks of all of you, as well as your employees, staff, professional consultants. Sometimes it's not as, I know people say legislation is like making sausage, but sometimes so many things are going on contemporaneously that everybody here, I think, struggles at times, I know I do, with time management issues. And putting it in the context, there's some of these issues tonight on the report that may deal with life, health, and safety matters. Some could deal with capital expenditures. Some may involve developments that could lead to increasing the overall township tax base. And so you're constantly trying to figure out how to prioritize and reprioritize all the different issues. And I think we are going and have been in a period that kind of predates 2008 prior to the slowdown, and we're seeing a tremendous amount of activity in all township departments and the township in general. That being said, the one nice thing I think this past week that many of you commented upon was just seeing the Galt Village retaining wall. Actually, those were built from the funds that were diverted from the owners of the Galt Village because they refused to maintain the property, and a great deal of that money was spent on the Galt Village retaining wall. And I think the neighbors there, I think they probably certainly appreciate it from a visual aesthetic standpoint. It looks very, very nice. In fact, I mentioned to Clerk Rowe that maybe we should have some type of camera station somewhere so that we can ensure that that new retaining wall does not get tagged by any graffiti artists, because it is at least something to be proud of, that in regards to knowing that this task has been accomplished and people's backyards are not going to collapse and wash away. That's a big issue for a lot of people. They've had to endure a lot of dumping issues in that alley back there during the last probably 15, 20 years, a bit more. So just drive by and look at that Galt Village retaining wall and just know that those funds were diverted by the receiver, or we requested the court to divert those funds, and they were authorized by the receiver to construct that, in my opinion, a very beautiful retaining wall. In regards to other things that might, at first glance, get past you, I couldn't help but think today how great it was for the Township Board to participate in the Rutherford Pool. I can't imagine, I can only imagine all the young kids that are trying to take advantage of trying to cool off in what is obviously a very brutal heat wave, and just knowing that at least we've got skin in the game where some children can go and cool off and learn how to safely swim. You continue to see reports about the dangers of young children drowning, and just knowing that there's a place there where there's safety, as well as giving young children an opportunity, young adults too, a place to cool off in this weather. That's a good feeling to know that the board participated in that agreement, and hopefully we'll be able to do so in the next several years. As far as the Reimagine Washtenaw project, as Clerk Rose said, this has been going on for 4 years, I believe, and it's finally coming to an end. I did receive today by FedEx the easement from Camelot Apartments. They are the ones that were the most difficult for us to get through. I do have that easement in hand. We are going to get back from Key Bank. We sent a $5,000 retainer for them to review the easement. They're going to send back $4,650. And after speaking with that gentleman from Key Bank, the township is not going to be required to remit that $2,500 non-refundable fee. That was going to go to Key Bank, totaling $7,500. So the $7,500 that we had allocated for Key Bank, they will keep $350, and the $7,150, at least on paper, is going to be at least help offset the Hahnemann firm's bill for legal services in regards to their representation of Camelot Apartments. Nathan Vogt, during the last 6 months, has worked very, very well with all of us in regards to brownfield issues, as well as the Reimagine Washtenaw corridor issues. And after finally getting the confidence that we were going to acquire Camelot, he proceeded to negotiate with the owners of both U-Haul and Mr. Muffler. He does have in hand the easement for Mr. Muffler, and he's going to get the one from U-Haul. So we'll have 2 more easements. And so this project is probably going to be ready to proceed for OHM is under contract to do the design. More likely than not, it'll probably go out in the spring of 2020. It's very difficult for them to get the bids in. And this time of year, the bids that are coming in for all infrastructure projects are running anywhere from 10, 20, 30% more than what the engineers' estimates are, because that's how much work is going on throughout the state, especially southeastern Michigan. So it probably will be bidded this year with a 2020 spring start date. Earlier this morning, I met with the representative vice president of Lombardo Homes, along with Director Mike Radzik, to see if we could reach at least carve out a pathway as to how we could restart what we refer to as the Crystal Ponds development. That's the development on Button Road that actually was approved back over 20 years ago. The developer went belly up, actually was criminally prosecuted for stealing money from a lot of people that put deposits on condos in that development. There were criminal trials, civil trials. 25 people out of maybe 90 are living out of 90 sites live there. The utilities are being serviced by YCUA, but it needs to be redeveloped, or needs to be restarted if at all possible. Lombardo, who's done a lot of redevelopment, has resurrected some developments in the township on the south side, have partnered with some other builder, and they want to go forward. We had a very positive meeting and a very frank discussion as to the expectations of the township and YCUA and going forward. After the next week, we'll have another follow-up meeting to give more of a detail on what that plan would look like and the process that would follow. We'd be going back to the Planning Commission Township Board for a restart of what was really, one time envisioned to be a very, very nice development given its location, the ponds, the woods. If you haven't been out there, you should drive out there and just drive through there because it has so much potential. The other good piece of this information is that the price point entry for these homes has been targeted of being between 160 to 180, which I think is a great opportunity for first-time home buyers, as well as for, they're targeting both first-time home buyers as well as empty nesters. And because of a lot of other reasons I won't go into detail tonight, that and they're going to be a nice product. So I'm kind of at least optimistically, cautiously right now that we're going to be able to restart Crystal Ponds and finish that development after this 12, 14-year hiatus. In regards to AKT and these different environmental issues, let me just kind of at least try and sort some of this information out, because there's two different pieces going on here simultaneously. In regards to 1150 Midway, this is the property where the skate park is going to be located.
On the agenda.
I'm sorry?
I was just wondering, should we have that report when it's on that agenda?
Well, I was going to explain this to what, because it has to do with the brownfield redevelopment request. I thought it was on the agenda. I thought it was on the agenda tonight.
It is.
It is.
We added it.
Did you want me to stop it? You want me to say,
Well, no, I think it would be good to
state?
talk about it on that agenda. That's all. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I think it would be good for the minutes to read them together.
I was just on a roll, so I just wanted to.
I see.
I wanted to keep things going, but I'll talk to you. In regards to the fire rescue trucks, I did send over to the board from the last meeting. We got all the information that I think was probably was lacking in terms of all the warranties, the contract, the specifications. I waded through that most of the weekend, and I did send the board a letter. They'll be on your next board agenda for those two fire trucks. And again, I just want to give you an overarching view of all the different things that are going on. So I'll stop right there.
Any questions of Mr. Winter? Hearing none?
Madam Chair, I'm sorry,
Yes.
one question. You mentioned the easements in Washtenaw, and you expect are those the last two, Mr. Muffler and U-Haul?
Yeah, those kind of just came out of the clear blue. We're not even thinking about going after those because we didn't have the Camelot piece. Once we got the Camelot piece, though, we decided that we would try and grab those right now, and they were very, very cooperative, and so we're going to grab those two right now.
And that'll be complete easements. Thank you.
Very large process. New business, this has been requested to be tabled, so that
Move to table.
Support.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll
No,
take it back.
motion Rowe, support Doe to table. No discussion on tabled item. Gerald Rowe? Eldridge?
Yes.
Ross Williams?
Yes.
Lovejoy Rowe?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Stumbo vote yes, Doe?
Yes.
And Wilson?
Yes.
Tabled into the next
Supported,
meeting.
Bernie?
Rowe and Doe.
Thank you.
Under item 2 is request to approve the third agreement with Washtenaw County Road Commission for crack sealing in the Partridge Creek subdivision in the amount of $40,000 to be budgeted in line item 101-446-000-818-022, contingent upon approval of the budget amendment.
So moved.
Support.
Motion Rowe, support Wilson. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is request to authorize payment to Hogneman for services rendered in regard to the Washtenaw Avenue easement agreement between 136 Group LLC and Ypsilanti Township in the amount of $6,500, which is budgeted in line item 101-446-000-818-022.
Move to approve.
Support.
Motion Doe, support Gerald Rowe. Discussion on this? Mr. Winters addressed this in his attorney's report.
Yes, this is the quid pro quo for the easement, and again, it was a long process.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 4 is a request to approve the grant of easement between AREC 19 LLC U-Haul and Ypsilanti Township for the Washtenaw Avenue.
So moved.
Motion Rowe, support Ross Williams. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 5 is a request for approval of Phase 1, which is $2,150, and Phase 2, which is $15,690. Contract with AKT Peerless for the environmental site assessment at 1116 Ecorse Road and 1160 Davis Street in the amount of $17,840 to be budgeted in line item 101-950-000-801-400, and authorize the signing of the 2 agreements with the Washtenaw County Brownfield Development Authority for reimbursement for the 2 ESA contracts, subject, well, the attorney approval, but you've already approved them, haven't you done?
Yes, they're in proper form. We just need
So
the
moved.
insurance certificate.
Support.
And this is Ypsilanti Township property.
Yes, this is the location of what people that can remember is the old Township Hall,
In the library.
and there's a fire station as well. And then after the Township moved out, it became a library for a while. And it was demolished about 18 years ago. It used to be an ice skating rink over there for a lot of during the wintertime. Firefighters would flood the low-lying area, and kids over there would skate. So there may have been some PFAS that was utilized in the testing during that time period. And so, talking with Nathan, there was initial some confusion about the Phase 1 being approved or not being approved, and Sarah Jo was here. Long story short, they're meeting tomorrow, and Nathan feels that because of Phase 2 would also look into the possible presence of PFAS, that he can make that request of the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority to approve both Phase 1 and Phase 2, so that's to allow the township to continue his plans to redevelop this portion of Ecorse Road, or all of Ecorse Road in the township, just to get a better handle as to what, if anything, we need to be aware of from an environmental standpoint as we go about trying to market this property in conjunction with your new master plan.
Are there any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, request to approval AKT Peerless proposal to prepare an environmental construction management plan and documentation of due care compliance for 1150 Midway, which is a future skateboard, in the amount of $6,450 to be budgeted in line item 212-212-000-801-300, contingent upon approval of the budget amendment and approval by the Washington County Brownfield Development Authority.
Move to approve.
Support.
Motion Doe, support Wilson. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 7 is budget amendment number 11. Clerk Rowe.
I would move to amend the 2019 budget, and this is the 11th amendment. Move to increase the general fund by $55,690. That's for the purchase, or for the contract with the Road Commission for Partridge Creek, and also for the Phase 1 and 2 at Ecorse and Davis Road to $10,146,631, and approve the line item changes as outlined, and to increase the bike, sidewalk, rec, roads, general fund 2 budget by $6,450, and that's for what was added to the agenda tonight, to $2,168,948, and approve the line item changes as outlined. I would make that motion.
Support.
Motion Rowe, support Doe. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have a point of information or clarification, if it's all right. I just, like, you see like the last item that was added, like it's untyped, it's typed on the agenda. If we don't continue to allow us to do it that way, then what'll happen is none of that'll be wrote out, and then we'll have to just make the motion verbally and put it on there at the end. So I just wanted to point that out since we just had the discussion, and we're going to come back to that whenever we discuss it again.
Or it wouldn't be on the agenda.
If you voted not to, even though that's highly unlikely, but unless this board takes a different direction than any other board I've ever been on. But- Motion to adjourn.
Is there any other
So move.
business? Okay, motion. Motion to adjourn, support? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Can I just ask about Loon Feather Park, Grove Road? Does anybody know what's going on? Or have you found out anything from OHM?
There's no update, is there?
Yeah, they cut the trees down to put the sheet piling in, which is what you knew, and that's all. That they're supposed to try to get that as soon as possible to get it in.
You're saying sheet piling, they're going to put some sheets of like steel or something?
Yes, down into the shoreline.
Okay.
And they don't know the exact depth yet. That's what they were going to try to find out. And I also know that they were doing soil borings here today at the pond.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but that's all we know. The video isn't released yet.
What video?
I know, I wonder too, so.
There's supposed to be a video out?
Of the videotaping of the Grove Road. You know,
Oh,
The
okay.
stormwater pipes, and all the pipes and stuff.
remember they,
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
we were waiting for those to,
Yeah.
okay.
we still don't have them.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, we adjourned at 7:30.